Hello, young or old here, and welcome to my channel. Now today I want to talk about certain changes I will have to make just so I can carry on enjoying my touring trips. Stay tuned and watch the intro. Now, as you may know, motorbike touring is what I enjoy. Other types of holiday don't really interest me. As I'm getting older, I'm going to need to make changes so that I can still enjoy my touring breaks. Sadly, gone are the days when I would rough it and sleep anywhere. Sometimes I've even slept in a hedge next to the bike. I speak to other mature riders who don't tour anymore. They say, we're just too old for that now. But I just cannot say those words. I must continue in any way I can, and I hope this video will inspire others to think the same. It's better to make changes rather than give up. Last year's tours of 2023 were blighted by the weather, illness, or both. The trip to Kent was a total washout. We didn't have one nice day. The Isle of Wight trip was okay, but we went a day later to avoid the deluge of rain that was due on our initial travelling day. We missed our group tour to Dorset because the wife had COVID. The trip to the East Coast was not only marred by the weather, but also the fact that I went down with flu on the second day. Even then we came home early to save a very wet return journey. Now, even the Met Office has a job getting the weather forecast right, so my little fur cone outside don't really stand much of a chance. So how do you know what time of the year to go? Well, all we can do is guess. A bit based on the time of the year. Yes, it can still rain a lot, but at least it should be a little bit warmer if we go in the summer. My wife needs to give a month's notice for holiday, but her boss tries to bend the rules for her a bit because of her extra commitment to doing all the extra shifts to help them out when. One of the changes that I'm also planning to make is the actual journey. You know what, I'm actually going to do it the way we want to do it. When you're travelling in a group, not everybody wants to stop at the same time. Some don't even want to stop at all. I'll just inform the rest of the group of my plans, and if they want to stop with me, then that's fine. Or they can carry on and I'll meet them later, providing there's no ferry or tunnel to catch, of course. But if that's the case, we can even set off a bit earlier so we can allow for more stops. My wife and I, we like to stop, have a coffee, a ciggy. We want to enjoy the journey as well as the destination. I can't see the point in sort of rushing there and then you've got to wait sort of 2 hours before you can get into your accommodation. I will be a little bit more picky on what accommodation I stay at now. My first choice will be a place, be it a hotel or B&B, where they've got garden rooms, which are like a log cabin in the grounds. This way, we wake up early, we can pop out at 5 o'clock for a coffee and a ciggy, without having to find your way out of the hotel with a coffee in your hand. If my bad knee's playing up after the journey, I don't want 3 flights of stairs carrying heavy overpacked panniers and a top box, so it will either now be a ground floor room or a place where they've got a lift. If we book a static caravan, I'd like it to be near civilization, as then after a day in the saddle touring around, we can then change into casual clothes, walk into the local town for a meal or a drink. We don't want to be cooking every night, and I don't really want to have to ride out looking for a pub. I'm not a fan of holiday park restaurants due to the kids running around, and to be honest, the food menu is not always good. Now my wife don't and will never do camping. It's just not her thing. I used to motor camp, but that was many years ago, before things started creaking bodily wise. So these trips will now be done solo, with the wife's blessing of course. But now I want a tent I can almost stand up in. The days of crawling into a small light tent are gone. Trying to get dressed laying down is not fun and it knackers you out. I was looking at some of these easy pitch tents, but they don't have the headroom I want. Also, I'd like to stay in one place at a time, so I'd only have to set up the tent and take it down once. So a longer pitch tent, will not really be a problem. I want to upgrade to a better mattress, more than an inch thick, and with USB pumps you can get a decent one. I'd like a decent chair, one which I can move around in while sitting down, without the fear of those lightweight flimsy legs giving way on me. I want a decent chair that I can spend the evening in some comfort, and when I stand up it ain't following me round as my butt is wedged in it. With having no pillion on the GTR, there'll be plenty of room to strap on a decent chair and a good sized tent. Weather shouldn't be a problem, as it'll be a case of, right, the weather's nice my dear, I'm off for a couple of nights camping. So I can do it at the last minute. Yeah, I know that if we book a tour abroad, then it's going to have to be pre-planned. So you're at the mercy of the weather of whatever country you're visiting. But by choosing countries that are known to be decent weather at certain times, it does cut the risk down somewhat. The key here is to plan your daily travel. Some like to go as far as they can in the days allowed, but for us it will be more shorter journeys between places and allowing us all day to do it in. If it's nice weather and you can see somewhere good to stop, then I say no wrong in sitting down and admiring the scenery while having a lunch for an hour or so. I don't see the point in saying, we've done so many countries in so many days, but then realising you've actually seen nothing. One tour I would like to do has a 225-mile journey midway through, but after that the next 3 days will be under 50 miles a day, so you've got plenty of time to enjoy and relax. I want trips to be enjoyable. I'm not looking for a challenge nowadays. Now, let's not forget the bike. Basically, you can tour on almost anything. It depends how much luggage you plan to take. Are you riding solo or taking a pillion? How far you are going? If you plan to tour in a group, then I think it is best to have a bike which is capable of maintaining the group speed. Most important, something comfortable enough to do the job. I've toured on nearly every bike I've ever owned. The ZZR14 was good. I had hard cases fitted, but no top box. But I did have a tank bag. When I got the GTR, I thought, wow, this is great. I've got a pair of panniers and the top box fitted, so I won't need the tank bag anymore. Oh, silly me. Now we have the top box full as well as the tank bag. I now realise it's no matter what space we have, my wife will fill it somehow. Age and ability are important factors to consider when choosing how to tour. 20 years ago I would look for any kind of touring, but now, I have to be a little bit more selective. Now I don't mind being up early in the morning setting off to wherever, but then again I don't want to be looking for my accommodation late the same evening, wondering where we can get some food. For us, the idea of getting to wherever we are staying mid to late afternoon, so we can check in, have a shower, a leisurely coffee or a drink while we're deciding where we'll be having our evening meal. The rest of the evening it's just time to relax before it's time for bed. Wake up next morning, have a shower, a breakfast before we set off for another day's adventure. So decide how long your tour is going to be and then work out sensible distances for your daily travel to enable you to see the places that you will visit, rather than just ride straight through them because you don't have time to stop. If one day you've got to do more miles, then make the next day a shorter ride, or as we sometimes do, have a day off the bike and get a bus or a taxi into the nearest town and have a relaxing day just looking around. We tend to do this when we visit Bruges or Ostend. Just remember, we love riding our bikes. Yes, you may love to tour, but don't forget it's a holiday and should be enjoyed as such. Well, a sunny day here in Bruges. Absolutely beautiful. A bit cloudy this morning, but weather's turned out for the night. So this is the queue for the boats. And this is easily done just by giving you time to do this. Don't turn it into a marathon by being over ambitious with your schedule. We all have different opinions on what is a reasonable distance. Mine was limitless years ago, but I was a lot younger and fitter back then, and some tours were done just riding solo. I want my wife to enjoy the tour, so it's important to consider what she finds comfortable. She likes to visit places. So a trip where she can have a look around, a coffee or two, and then continue will keep her happy, with not too long a session on the pillion at one time. So to anyone watching this, please don't feel that you aren't up to a tour nowadays. You are. You just need to plan the correct one to suit your needs and the comfort levels you want. Try shorter distance ones that you can do with a 2-night stay somewhere. Decide if you like it and then just take it from there. So, I hope you enjoyed this content and I hope it makes you think twice about touring. But if you enjoyed it, please do the ticks to like and subscribe. And as always, take care, ride safe, and bye for now.